Hey everyone, welcome back to my workbench. So, ironically, two different people emailed me a copy of the firmware diagnostics for the IntelliVision. So, that's a good way to demonstrate why I went through all the effort of going from my original controller to the 2.0 version. This particular controller is still a 1.0, and all the buttons work, of course. But you can see going through all 16 directions. That looks good. That looks good. But it tends to want to skip. I don't know. That one's okay. Yeah, the 1.0s aren't like horrible. You can see when you come back counterclockwise, it tends to want to skip a little bit. And you get a little bit of a crunch. I mean, not like awful, but it's kind of hard to get some of the off directions at times, and you get a little bit of a, I can feel it here, a little bit of a scrape. So, is a little, you see, that's the worst offender right there, that northwest. Okay, wants to skip over, yeah, so. Again, anyone who wants to get an upgrade, let me know. I'll cover reasonable shipping costs. Don't ship it to me overnight, because I don't make that much money on these controllers. I'm not made of money, man. But like normal shipping costs, I'll take care of it. And luckily, I think I was looking back at my orders. I think there were only maybe 7 or 8 are 1.0, and I've already upgraded. I'm tempted to say, I have to look at my records, I think at least 3 have been upgraded, so I think there's only 5 left now. I'm going to be emailing shortly. There's like 5 left. So yeah, this is definitely a 1.0 controller. You can see it's got the 2 decks. So let's do a little mod work here. The nice thing is I can reuse just about everything, so it's not like crazy hard to go through and fix this. Well, at this point, these are all done anyway. Alright. I'm not reusing these old design at all, so those are all good to go. So what I did originally, I'll show you, was I trimmed the actuators down to short, and this is kind of the problem, is getting a consistent length there. So, and of course I have 2 pieces of 3D printed plastic, so that's not great either. So then turn this into a 2.0. You can reuse the micro switches. There's nothing wrong with them, but I do need to possibly wear eye protection, because these actually need to be trimmed down. So I actually don't need these anymore, because it needs to be kind of glued down in place. Stuff be flying, man. Since I'm here, I'll get the hot glue gun going. Wow, actually picks up my fingers. I didn't know it was that conductive. Get once you heat it up, and then it's actually a pretty easy conversion. So this is the new plate here. So this is a single deck. And I'm going to need to trim these down slightly. Where's my cutter? Hello, favorite cutter. It goes through this like butter. Wow, it's like magic bounce there. Alright, so it gets rid of that. And now I do not need this actuator anymore. So it actually gives you much more consistent 16 directions. Okay. Yeah, so Casey and Steve sent me a copy of this firmware test, which I really do appreciate. It works perfectly on my IntelliVision II. So they both emailed. One was I was going back and forth on Facebook, and then the other one was just kind of like out of the blue. That's one of the Canadian customers about getting his upgraded. So, all right. Now it's just a matter of this. This is almost hot. Get close, and then I need to get some screws cut. For some reason, I have had a heck of a time finding just the right length screw. I need like the metric equivalent, but it's like just a hair too long, so I just end up having to take these guys and just trim the little tapping bit off the end. Because otherwise, when you go in, it actually hits too far and kind of raises it up a little bit off it hits the micro switches underneath and it interferes a little bit. I just need like a 1/16 of an inch shorter screw, and I can't find a darn thing. It's not like a common size. I mean, I can find them, but it's like, do I really have to wait 3 weeks for a screw? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's quicker for me just to trim these down. And you'll see once I get this put back together, the difference between the 1.0 and the 2.0. I mean, the 1.0 wasn't bad, but the 2.0 is just something else. Sad, all this plastic, all this work in the trash. Just want to get this picture here nice and flat. What I do is I get this nice and flush, and then I kind of fill up these wells with the hot glue so it doesn't go anywhere. The problem I run into, microscope, camera over the problem you run into is these features, which are part native to the original joystick, hit like exactly where my new micro switches need to go. So, is it beautiful? No. Does it work? Yes. There's quite a bit of an interference fit already. Oh, interference fit already, so it's not like kind of like I'm flying off anyway, but I'd rather have a good mechanical connection to work with here. Where's my mucked up? Kind of get a nice little kind of a flat bead going on for most of these. I might fill that one up a little more. I have my hot glue gun set to Inferno, so it stays liquid a little while. If you ever need a good hot glue gun though, I love this Ryobi. Battery operated. So for what I need, it is really good. So that is nice and flush. And I just want to trim off a little excess here so it's nice and flat. It is not going anywhere, by the way. Alright, so then I'm just going to go through and replace the existing micro switches with. Again, electrically, there's no difference. Just there's mechanical changes between the two different versions. So this happened to me on the 5200 as well, but that one I didn't have to like basically recall because it worked just fine. It just there was some couplings I made that the newer versions do not use. And I'm already up to version 3 of my 5200 controllers. I'm always trying to improve, so you can see how much more, I don't know if elegant is the quite right adjective, but I'll go with elegant. More elegant of a solution this is than the original. And this one is going to be a purist, of course, so I'll probably end up putting this up, oops, as a refurb unit, but that's about it. But you can see it's not like a huge process to go through and modeling these babies out. I like this diagnostic program. This is cool. Those are not going anywhere. Between the self-tapping screws and the washers, you are going nowhere, buddy. And this will be really a live demonstration of the 2.0 version of this IntelliVision controller. So good news is I'm still getting orders, but I'm getting pretty much caught up on all the controller orders. I do have a couple of repairs, including something I haven't done in a long time, and that's an AV out mod for 5200. I don't do much of that work anymore, but hey, I have a soft spot in my heart for 5200s. Okay. And apparently the parts for the new Genesis controller have landed in the local airport, so that should be a few days and I can work on that. So I'm going to get caught up on these orders. I only have six controllers right now. in the queue, which is not a lot for me, and I already have the plastics cut for most of them. So, and I'm working on getting the building the 5200 a little more simplified. I need to do that for this sucker. This one is not the easiest to build right now. Let's take a look. There's something funky going on here. Hold on. There we go. See how nice and consistent that is now? Speaking of that, that's what was going on. I had two wires touching here. Of course, now you can do see how nice and precise that is now? So that's pretty cool. So yeah, in case anyone's wondering, that is why I went through all the effort of making the 2.0 videos, and this is going to be a really good tool for me. And it's there. Awesome. For testing these out. Oh, that works so nice now. That is pretty freaking cool, man. And you can see, of course, left button, right button, top row, keypad. Blow this up a little bit so you can see a little better. You can see just how precise the control is now. Oh, that is really working really nice. Even like how it sounds now too. I know it's a minor thing, but sweet. No weird jumps. Both directions feel the same now. Very nice. Awesome. Thank you both for sending me a copy of the firmware tester. It works great, and it's good for testing and demonstrating. And it really gets to show you just how precise the version 2.0 is. I mean, you're getting every direction. No problem at all. You want to do a little crazy little things like that. Oh, perfect. That's what I wanted. I'm impressed with my own handiwork. That is awesome. All right. Yeah, again, if anyone needs their control upgraded from 1.0, you can easily tell on the bottom, because it'll have they always put Whoa, always put version numbers on my controllers. This is version 1.0. This was made back in June. But yeah, if anyone wants an upgrade, let me know. I'm going to be building a couple more 5200 controllers up tonight. But I'm going to throw screws back in this one, and this will be available. I got to put a new serial number in here. So now I have a version 2.0 on hand here. Sweet. Cool. Alright everyone, thank you for watching. I'm going to get back to work on some 5200 stuff. I got to turn my soldering iron on and go from there. Thanks for watching everyone, and thank you Casey and Steve for your help, and everyone, actually thank you to everyone who's helped me just create better controllers in general. I do appreciate feedback and just making stuff better. Have a good night.